What's up, y'all? You're watching Union Minded. I'm your host, Eric, and today I'm going to give you 3 stories that are going to kind of tell you where we began as labor, what it took to get out of where we were as labor, and how far we can go if we only find the wherewithal to do so. But before I dive into all of that, don't forget to hit the like button, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, don't forget to hit the notification bell, don't forget to drop some comments and share these videos so that we spread the knowledge, the wisdom, and the solidarity. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Now, as you all know, in the beginning of the labor movement, companies hired and worked everyone. They didn't care about working children, in mines and all kinds of places. And sad to say that here in 2022, these conditions still exist in some places. So off of the Daily Beast, there was a report in the Crime and Justice section. It says 31 kids found working graveyard shifts on meat plant kill floors, the feds say. This article is by Josh Fialo. In a complaint filed Wednesday that reads, "Straight out of the Great Depression, the feds requested a temporary injunction on a massive sanitation company that's accused of employing children as young as 13 in dangerous overnight shifts at food processing plants. Packers Sanitation Services, known as PSSI, is under investigation by the Department of Labor after a credible tip revealed that at least 31 children were employed to clean industrial equipment, the complaint said. At least 2 of the children of the child workers suffered caustic chemical burns and other injuries while working on the kill floor, where cattle are butchered, at a plant operated by JBS Foods in Grand Island, Nebraska, the complaint said. PSSI hires local workers throughout the country to sanitize industrial plants like food processing facilities, often in overnight shifts that include work with and around dangerous machinery." This whole where it's describing work with and around dangerous machinery, that's in quotes. So that's coming right out of what they do as a description of what they provide, the service that they provide. And use of, quote, strong chemicals, according to an employee onboarding video on YouTube. The company's website says it has 17,000 employees. The Department of Labor said it discovered child laborers at the Grand Island location and at 2 Minnesota plants, one operated by JBS Food in Worthington, the other by Turkey Valley Farms in Marshall. None of the children mentioned in the complaint were identified, but the filing listed their working hours as far exceeding what's permitted under federal law for minors. All of the minors involved were Spanish-speaking, the complainant said. Now, this is the second story this year that I come across with child labor in it. And in both instances, it had to do with undocumented immigrants being taken advantage of. So they always come for the weakest or the meekest of us, and they're able to do so because we don't stand together and we keep viewing other workers as just others, and they don't deserve the same rights and the same standards that we do. The Fair Standards in Labor Act, enacted in 1938, established that minors under 14 be barred from working altogether. Teens aged 14 to 15 aren't permitted to work past 9 p.m. in the summer and past 7 p.m. during the school year. Labor laws are more lax for those 16 and older, but still ban working more than 3 hours on a school day and more than 18 hours a week. The legislation also bars children from operating with or around hazardous equipment. The feds say these laws were brazenly ignored by PSSI, with one child worker, a 14-year-old student at Walnut Middle School in Grand Island, working from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. 5 or 6 days a week between December and April. Investigators said the child's work ID matched their student ID. The complaint alleges the student regularly fell asleep in class and missed school because of a chemical injury sustained at the plant. The child's alleged injury isn't a one-off. A report from March said 3 PSSI workers have died on the job since 2018, including one who was decapitated cleaning a chicken chiller. Injuries to 4 other people resulted in amputations, according to the report, commissioned by the watchdog group Private Equity Stakeholder Project. Many of the children detailed in the Department of Labor's complaint were tasked with cleaning machines used to cut meat, which included electric knives and Grasselli skinners, a tool used to skin fat from the animal's carcass. Investigators from the department's Wage and Hour Division interviewed several miners during the tours of each plant. They observed that nearly all areas of the plant contained meat and bone-cutting saws or other dangerous power-driven machines not meant to be cleaned by children, the complaint said. The feds alleged they found abhorrent conditions during the tour, with the Grand Island kill floor appearing to have cow fat covering the entire ground. They also accused PSSI of trying to obstruct the investigation by retaliating against workers who spoke with investigators and tossing out or manipulating employee files to cover its improper hiring records. The article goes on, but we're going to stop there just to illustrate the types of things that companies will do if they're permitted to do so. This is happening today. This isn't the Great Depression. This is happening now. So there's one tale, right, of how bad it can get. And I'm hoping that the feds come down hard on that company. All right. Now, what does it take to fix how bad it can be? Well, in the Washington Post on Monday reported the largest strike of 2022, California academic workers walk off the job. In the largest work stoppage of the year, thousands of academic workers at the University of California system went on strike Monday over the university system's bargaining practices with their union, which is trying to secure higher wages. Some 48,000 teaching assistants, postdocs, researchers, and graders on the front lines of teaching and research at California's prestigious public university system are seeking a minimum annual salary of $54,000 and increased child care benefits, saying they do not earn enough to live in the state. They also accused the university of not bargaining in good faith with their union, the United Auto Workers. At every turn, the university has sought to act unlawfully at the bargaining table, which is preventing us from reaching an agreement, said Neil Sweeney, the president of UAW Local 5810, which represents more than 11,000 UC postdocs and academic researchers. The University of California strike is also the largest academic strike in higher education in U.S. history, according to the UAW. The bargaining units that represent UC academic workers said university leadership has illegally made changes to pay and transit benefits without consulting the union. They also alleged that the university has refused to provide necessary information about who is in the bargaining unit and has otherwise obstructed the bargaining process. Negotiations have been underway for more than a year. University officials denied allegations that their negotiators have broken the law during bargaining. They said that they had made good faith efforts to bargain, as shown by the number of tentative agreements the parties have already reached. Ryan King, a spokesman for the UC system, said school administrators have listened to the union's priorities, provided fair responses, and shown a genuine willingness to compromise. A primary goal in these negotiations is achieving multi-year agreements that recognize these employees' important and highly valued contributions to the university's teaching and research mission, with fair pay, quality health, and family-friendly benefits, and a supportive and respectful work environment, King said in a statement. The strike threatens to disrupt classes, research, and grading ahead of final exams at the UC system's 10 campuses. Students would have to rely solely on professors for grades, teaching, and other one-on-one instruction. Yeah, that's a consequence of not reaching an agreement. University administrators and the union continued to meet over the weekend through Sunday evening, with some progress toward a deal, but union officials said they remained far apart on the core issue of wages. In the days leading up to the strike, some tenured UC professors said they had the right to cancel classes during the work stoppage and spoke out in solidarity with the academic workers. So here, the educators are speaking out in solidarity with the workers. There goes that key word again, solidarity. You hear me talk about it a lot. Solidarity amongst workers is how we flip the system. The strike arrives amid a wave of increased labor activity in the United States, buoyed by pandemic working conditions and a record-hot labor market that has afforded workers more leverage to negotiate for improvements in pay and schedules. Workers have scored historic union victories at Amazon, Starbucks, and Apple this year. Minnesota recently faced the largest private sector strike in the nursing industry in U.S. history. The United Auto Workers is asking UC leadership for a minimum salary of $54,000 for all graduate students and a minimum salary of $70,000 for all postdocs. as well as annual cost of living adjustments and contract negotiations. Many graduate students earn $20,000 a year or just above, and postdocs earn a minimum of $55,000. The union has also requested $2,000 a month child care reimbursements, expanded paid parental leave, and public transit passes for its members. We're trying to make transformational changes to our working conditions that will in turn impact the quality of research and education, said Sweeney, the union leader. The issues we face are similar to other workers in this country. We're inspired by other struggles at Starbucks and Amazon, and we hope our struggle will be inspiring to others as well. Preach! You got the real workers not having it. Now you got the university educators not having it. And that's what it takes. It takes class solidarity to rise above. And then here's another little awesome tidbit. UPS drivers in Southern and Northern California have been informed by the Teamsters that they can refuse to deliver packages to the University of California during the strike. Teamsters confirmed this will likely have some impact on the UC system. So now you have solidarity across industries. UPS is saying, all right, drivers, you don't have to deliver your packages to the U of C. These are big things, and that's how you change the system. Standing together, showing solidarity, that's how you change the system. And what can you accomplish with that? Well, here's my last tidbit. It's official. Illinois voters approved changes to the state constitution to enshrine collective bargaining rights and ban future efforts to implement right-to-work policies. With 2,113,534 votes in favor, there is no longer any mathematical path for the amendment's defeat. In Illinois, this past Tuesday, they passed a constitutional amendment enshrining collective bargaining as the law of the land. The State Board of Elections will make all election results official on December 5th, but their records show the total number of ballots cast in person and by mail meant the magic number was right around 2,112,483 yes votes. That guarantees greater than 50% of all ballots cast. So basically, workers in Illinois came together and said, we want collective bargaining in the Constitution. So again, solidarity. That's how we fix the system. That's how we improve our quality of life. That's how we improve the life of working people all across this country. You know, the ones who power everything, the ones who make all profit possible. These CEOs are not it. It's you and I. All right? Don't forget, the fight's not left and right. It is up and down. It's going to take solidarity to win always. Each one teach one. Get out there and reach one. And remember, there is no union without you and I front and center. Let's go. Peace.